Well, it's the first time we've spoken to you, isn't it, since the transfer window closed? So, how do you feel about the squad that you now have?
Well, we've got a lot more options. We lost a couple of players as well, but we've got a lot more options forward going than we had. The last home match, we didn't really have anything to go and win the game from the bench, whereas now I think we've got quite a few options to change formations and strikers and wide players. We've got a lot more available to us now, which is good for me.
Obviously, you had previously spoken about Andras Spora when he was sort of half your player, but not quite. But he's here now. You've seen him on the training pitch, along with James Lea Siliki and Onel Hernandez. How are they settling in? I know it's very early days, but
yeah, I mean they've all. I think they've given everybody a lift. Really, it's not. It's lovely when you get new faces in. The players have seen players leaving, and we have been a bit short of numbers option wise. But I think to see the lads come in and the way that they fitted in, I mean, the last two, Andras and James, they didn't come in till Thursday morning, and then they had to do a home office thing for the visa, etc. So it was a bit complicated. We had to put the training back, but they had a good session, and then they're going to have one today. We went through a few bits of tactical thing, what we're looking for in their positions, etc. So it gave us a chance to let them know what we're about, really.
Is it asking too much, do you think, to consider starting them at the weekend?
Well, I mean, I've only seen one session yesterday. They've not had a lot of minutes, and we haven't had chance to do a fitness. We wanted a blank week. It'll probably be the week after next when we actually do to see how far they're up with us. When they're all measured up, etc. So we'll be a little bit careful until they do that, because we don't really know the levels. But I think they can definitely be involved and I'm sure can have an impact.
Boro fans will know plenty about Onel Hernandez from his Norwich days, and you've spoken about what Spora can bring as well. But what about James Lea Siliki? Because he's a little bit more of an unknown, isn't he, to the fans?
Yeah, he's one of those that Kieran's liked over the last 12-18 months, Kieran Scott, and I've got a great contact in France, and so when I telephoned him, he was straight away. He said, "You'll like him, Gaffer. He's your type of player." And he doesn't give me many recommendations, I must admit. So that was enough for me to know that it is worthwhile, bringing to the club. A good age as well, and a great left foot, which is, I think sometimes you need that as well.
And was the desire to bring James in the reason that Sam Morsy left? Because I think that was probably a bit of a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah, it probably was. I think you've just got to look at the squad. You look at the numbers we've got now with Martin in there, and James coming in, to see that you've got Paddy that can play in there as well. So we're quite blessed with that, really. And I think, as all managers have to do, you have to balance the books at times, or try and balance the books. And that's what I did with the lads that we let out.
Nevertheless, he's still sad to see Sam go, because again, you talk about your sort of player. You've always spoken very highly of him.
Yes, he's a good lad. Good luck to him. He's got a great 3-year contract at his age, more money than he's on here, and it should see him into that. It's an opportunity that I don't think he could turn down, really. So I wished him well.
So after Coventry this weekend, they've had a really good start to life back in their own city. 2 wins from 2 at home in the league. Do you think that just the simple act of going home has had a good effect on them?
Yeah, I think they've always been underrated. I think Mark Robbins is underrated. I've always rated Mark very highly, and he just gets on with his job without making any song and dance. And they've become a very good side. I think it'll be probably our toughest game tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it, I must admit. With the options that I've got now, I do think we can give most teams a good game, a good run for the money now.
Yeah, you did say, I think the last time we spoke to you, that the next few days, how the transfer dealings went, would have such an enormous bearing on Boro's prospects. What do you feel the prospects are now that the deals are all done?
I don't think we know. I don't think any of us know. I think whatever we say, we're really having a guess I'm happy with the dressing room. I think the dressing room's never been better. I think everybody's together and singing from the same hymn sheet. You know, we've still got to score goals and not concede. So, you know, that's what it's all about. On the day a manager can only put the team out, they can't look at mistakes and opportunities missed, etc. But we have to be a little bit more clinical up front, and we have to be a little bit more organised at the back, not to give silly goals away. So it's it's one of those things. I would have liked to have done this sort of 6 months, 12 months ago, but it wasn't possible. So now I think the future of the club's in really, really good shape now to go, look to the future.
Just two last ones from me. One of the other departures was Jed Spence, which again, I don't know, was it if it was a surprise to the fans, because he's sort of been in and out of your team at times. Why did you decide that you were going to let him go to a team also in the Championship?
I just think that it was time for Jed to go and taste pastures new, really. Nothing else, really. I just thought that this was as good a time as any. When we were looking to balance the incomings, help with the outgoings, and that became an opportunity for Jed, then, I mean, he was delighted to go. I think he's going to get a regular game there. He probably wouldn't with me at the minute. So it's worked out well for both parties.
And in all your years in the game, you talked about the left-sided issue, and let's hope Mark Bowler stays fit. Have you ever had to encounter a situation like he and you are dealing with right now, where obviously he's being charged by the FA for something that he said and did as a 14-year-old?
I don't think I should comment, as I might get charged.
You're an adult, Neil.
Yeah. I think that's an ongoing thing, so I can't comment on that.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem, Mark.
We think, and it'll be my fault if we're wrong here, that you've got 23 registered players in the squad now out of your 25. Does that mean you still might be looking at bringing a couple of free agents in?
Yeah, we were close last week to securing the left-sided lad, who I'm looking for. I've got to get another left-sided lad if I can, defensive-wise, but we missed out on that, and financially it was a bit too much for us. So we've just got to keep looking, and there are players out there. I'm not, it's not a desperate situation, because Lee Peltier has done very, very well on the left side for me. So I'm quite happy with that, really, and I know that Sol is good on the left side of the back four or five as well. So I'm quite happy with that. It's just a natural left footer always helps.
Absolutely. 5 games in, of course, it's early days. 3 draws. Are you concerned in any way about that, or is it still too soon to talk about staying mid-table?
Well, I mean, the 3 draws have all been mixed bags, really. I mean, the Fulham, I don't think anybody else has taken a point off them at the moment. So I think we've got stronger. I think against Blackburn we needed to be able to change it a little bit more, which now we've got these other new players in. I think we can create more problems for opponents, whereas I don't think we've been able to really do anything from the bench to influence games, whereas I think now we have the players to do that.
Finally, from me, you just said Coventry you think will be your toughest test. How much will this weekend give you the picture of where you are compared to where you want to be?
I think we've got to look at the next sort of 2 or 3, and before the next international break. Now, I think we've got to steady the ship now and try and get these lads up to date, up to the fitness levels that we require. Let them see what we want from them, and hopefully then get a contribution out of them. It's always it's always difficult for lads coming from abroad to fit straight in, but they've got great attitude. I was really impressed with all of them yesterday in training. Andras, James, and I mean I call James Siliki now. That's his name to me. I can't pronounce his name, so I asked him if it was all right to call him Siliki, and he said you can call me what you want, Gaffer. So that was all right.
Great, Neil. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Simon's appeared now.
Simon has appeared.
Yes, hi. Sorry, Neil. I'm on a different laptop today, and
right.
the cameras are fully placed. I've really only got one. since the sort of era of transfer deadlines, I suppose there's a new art, a part to management where you suddenly have to blend a lot of players in all at once. How difficult is that, and is that a part of it that you enjoy?
What I enjoy is building a dressing room that all are all together, and I feel that that's what I've got now. I just feel everybody's singing from the same hymn sheet. Like I said, it's a real good feeling now, and we can play a lot more football than people give us credit for. Really, I thought some of the football against Blackburn was fantastic. Without getting the finish. But in the circumstances with the bench and the four, with Uchi being out as well, I thought we were limited in that particular game. Whereas I feel now we've got far more options now to try and win games rather than just be happy with a point.
So just one more then. I mean, as to the start of the season, you were pretty excited about your team. Now it's kind of the window's shut and it looks like this is kind of your team. How excited are you now?
Yeah, it's good. It's a real good challenge now for the lads, and I'm hoping that they're going to relish it like myself. I mean, if the training's anything to go by, I've noticed such a difference this week, and yesterday was fabulous, really, having the new players in as well. It's giving everybody a lift. It does give the staffers lift as well, and so. You've got to follow that by getting results, and like I say, I know how difficult it's going to be at Coventry, but it'll be difficult for Coventry as well.